some gameplay of the Fire Lorraine deck. So this is game 1 into Fire Zander. So you can see I get the high roll of 9, opponent rolls 5, so I'm going first. Which it's better to go second just because you got 2 engine pieces available, Creative Shock and Hasty Messenger. If you go first, you've only got Creative Shock at the start. So I draw a hand and don't really have any play here. Can't play Tempered Steel or Savage Slash as there's no Spirit on the other end. Spirit Blade, don't want to use that. Flame Sweep, only play could be Hasty Messenger, but knowing my opponent, he'll kill that straight away and then I won't get to use it. So I decide to play nothing on this turn and pass it over. Yeah, pretty unfortunate not to have a Creative Shock or just any sort of play turn 1. Opponent starts with a Library Witch, which tells me they don't have a relatively fast hand. And then they play Creative Danger, which I'm not hating, especially when they've just fed me a Creative Shock. Ping me for 1, pretty slow start, so not too fast. So I want to get Tempered Steel into my graveyard. I don't want to waste a card on leveling up. So got the Rending Flame, which is nice, Creative Shock, so I can push a card in there. So what I'm looking at is just pushing cards out into my memory that I don't want to use this turn. Got the Creative Shock, draw 2, and then we'll get rid of the Tempered Steel. I'm going to play a Savage Slash to push some damage and get that into Floating Memory 2 for the following turn. Obviously I'll use the Tempered Steel first. Here I actually play the Hasty Messenger, and then I'll follow up with the Savage Slash just to see what I draw. So yeah, Hasty Messenger into the Library Witch, get rid of the Ghostly Touch. Nothing really that I want to get rid of. Pretty happy seeing that Deflecting Edge, and then I'll Savage Slash just to get that additional point of damage. If I Savage Slash the Library Witch first, I'm losing a point of damage. Very happy seeing a Deflecting Edge because Fire Zander's main win con is Rending Flames. So Deflecting Edge, instead of stopping 3 damage, he's going to stop 6 now because of the double up. So opponent's got a lot of cards, so that's kind of scary, but then they're playing another Increasing Danger. This time drawing me another Hasty Messenger, and I'm pretty happy seeing more cards. And then they throw me another Tempered Steel, so now I know I can play the Tempered Steel, have 2 Floating Memory, and then go to level 2, level 3. Without wasting cards. So they get their own Hasty Messenger out and kill mine, which is a smart play. Like I said, the longer that's on there, the more you filter. And then they play a Library Witch. So I'll use my Floating Memory now to go to level 1. And I'm pretty happy because now I'll be able to have 2 Floating Memory to go to level 2. They are still level 1, so I'm not too worried about a Rending Flames happening, and if it does, I do have the Deflecting Edge in hand. So because of their Increasing Dangers, we have a massive hand. I'm happy to see Veteran Soldier because then that just gives me another outlet on the Hasty Messenger. Start off with playing the Tempered Steel. I don't mind playing this out, it keeps my sword out there longer turn. So I'm just going to set up for the Flame Sweep. So if anything, yeah, so I attack into their Hasty Messenger, get rid of the Veteran Soldier, and draw my own Library Witch. Pretty happy to see that Library Witch. So it's now I'm attacking with the sword to get rid of the Hasty Messenger. So I've got 2 floating memory in there for the level 2 up, and I'll play the Library Witch. Pass turn. Don't want to Sparkle Eye, I want to keep the Deflecting Edge in hand. So they also need to bring out the dagger that can swing for free before our Rending Flames. So I know I have a turn. I'm hoping he puts out a few more units, just because I've got Flame Sweep next turn. And the more units he can have on the field, the better, just to draw a few more cards. So he puts an Honorable Vanguard. I'm very happy to see this. It's only going to ping for 1. And then give me another card when I Flame Sweep. Plus I've got Library Witch, so the Library Witch is going to stop at least 1 damage from the units that he has out so far. But it does have a lot of cards in hand, so I am a little worried, but just kind of see what he plays. Comes out with Clumsy Apprentice. I'm happy to see these 2. Pushes a couple of damage and then just another card for when I sweep. Just right now I'm only looking at 3 damage. And 1 will be stopped by the Library Witch. A little bit worried that I could see that, but like I said, kills my Hasty Messenger, so that stops 2 from there. He's got to kill the Library Witch, so that's going to stop 2 damage, and at best he's going to push 4 damage. Doubt he swings with the Library Witch. There you go, 5 units on the board into my turn that I'm going to Flame Sweep. I am very happy. I'm that happy, I'm clicking all the way on TTS. I just can't wait to get this level up. He's got 1 card in hand, so I know he can't Deflecting Edge because he doesn't have a weapon out to play it for free. So I'm just all system go. Draw for turn. So I don't see a dungeon guide, so I can't see playing level 3. So I'm just trying to use a couple of cards here that I'm not interested in. So I've got 2 Flame Sweeps, so I don't need both of them in hand. So Flame Sweep for 5, 2 off the Lorraine, 1 off the sword, and then 2 off the card itself. He retaliates, he can with the Library Witch because of Arthur's on the field. So I take 1 there, but then I'm drawing 5 cards. He's just letting me know I actually killed 5, not 4, so I take the extra 1, and I am very, very happy. So now I'm looking at putting that Veteran Soldier to my graveyard as well. So just getting cards that I actually want to play down, cards I'm not going to play this turn. Draw 2, see a Veteran Soldier, very happy. Now I'm just looking at playing the Hasty Messenger to get rid of that other Veteran Soldier in hand and fuel that graveyard with Floating Memory. So now I draw the Deflecting Edge. So I could put the Library Witch out, but I know he's got potential to bring out the dagger and then go for a big Rending Flames. So I consider the Library Witch, have a look at how many cards he's had in graveyard and decide to keep the Deflecting Edges in hand, and then just see if he does come with a big attack. He brings out the dagger, so in my head he's got a Rending Flames, he's got a bunch of cards, and this is where Deflecting Edge shows its power. So he's pretty eager here. Just looking at how many Floating Memory I have in my graveyard. I have 3 there, so I'm pretty happy. He activates the dagger, so that's got +2 for the turn, so it's coming in at 3. he comes with Rending Flames, and I double Deflecting Edge. So I deflect the damage before the attack, before it doubles. So it's not 12 minus 6, it's 6 minus 6, so it's 0 doubled. So that Rending Flames does absolutely no damage. And that's a massive win for me. And puts him on the clock. If he can't get some interceptors out, I'm in a really strong position just with the amount of cards I have, the amount of floating memory I have in my graveyard. When I see this, I'm like, he can kill the Hasty Messenger. I can put another one out if he puts a Library Witch and then go swing big. So he attacks me directly. Kind of see he's riding on the wall here. Pings me for 1 more damage. And yeah, he calls it a turn. So even with getting rid of the Tempered Steel, I've got free fire in my graveyard if I want to play Rending Flames. But even noting, I've got a lot of Spirit Blade Ascensions. So in my head, I'm like, I'm just going to bounce his sword a few times and just end it there. But this is really like, I'm going to win anyway. There's a lot of overkill. I can do Devastating Blow. So I'm just looking to put cards. I nearly stuffed up there by putting the Library Witch. Spirit Blade, there needs to be a fire card. I know I'm versing an opponent and he's most likely to have fire, but it's just a good habit to put fire in there yourself just in case, so you can proc the free damage. So our Prismatic Edge does free damage. Now it doesn't matter because I have a fire card in there. I proc it again. So essentially playing Ascension, putting the Prismatic Edge to my material deck and bringing it back out. And that does another free damage. And then I say, how about 1 more? So I bounce it and then do another free damage. And that kills him. And now this is just me showing the amount of overkill I have. I can Rending Flames, Devastating Blow, and just push an obscene amount of damage. So that's the Fire Zander matchup, and so game 2 is now into a Win Lorraine. So this is the hardest matchup for this Fire Lorraine list. So opponent rolls an 11, I roll 7, so they're on the play, and this is kind of ideal. Just gives me that extra card. And as mentioned earlier, I've got both engine pieces on, which is the best. Opponents just there spreading so just the TTS error where they can't see their cards. So I can see here 5 cards down. I'm assuming Veteran Soldier, great turn 1 play. Okay, so I see Creative Shock and Hasty Messenger, so I'm happy for that. However, no floating memory. So now I'm just looking at cards that I want to keep in hand. Keep for the late game, don't want to play. And see what I can get off the Creative Shock. I'm hoping for floating memory. Draw 1, draw the second. It's a Flame Root Swordsman, so that's got class bonus. So I'm just considering, don't want to put that in there, which I do, so that's for next turn. Now play the Hasty Messenger, most likely going to get rid of, so I'll go 1 face, get rid of the Blazing Throw, kind of want to keep but just Rending Flames, it's more damage late. So yeah, Spirit Blade Ascension, which is nice for turn 3, and as you can see in the previous game, just pushes so much damage, especially when you can get Prismatic Edge and just keep revealing fire cards. So he kills my Hasty Messenger, which makes sense. Win Lorraine wants to control the board. Opponent's not trying to burn cards, so as they've still got their veteran soldier out, they don't get a level up, which now allows me to buy a turn on not trying to level up too early as well, because they're still on base spirit. So now looking at this hand, I've got flame sweep, which I need, but I'm also now looking at, okay, what can I play to put some cards into memory to level up. I don't have a easy level up to level 1 now, so I decide to actually pass and then look to play Sparkle Light at the end of their turn. Don't give them floating memory now, so they don't get a level up. So this allows me just to keep at level 1. I plan on going for level 1 next turn, so I want to Sparkle Light a unit, depending on what, have 2 cards in memory, and then I put the 2 Ghost Blades so I can guarantee one of them gets thrown away, but then I'm maintaining one. Go to level 1, hopefully I draw another piece of floating memory, so I can get an easy level 2. So I get rid of the Swift Recruit before it attacks, saves me 1 damage, prolongs them from getting that floating memory, and then they pass the turn. Now that wasn't ideal, but with the cards in hand, it's what I needed to do. Now I'm just contemplating, do I want Sword of Seeking or Sword of Adversity? I'll go with the Sword of Adversity just because I've got the Flame Sweep in hand, and if I don't swing with the Sword of Adversity on the Flame Sweep, that's for 6. So I know, just don't use it this turn, try level up, and then come for 6. So now I'll get rid of the cards that I want for later on. So the Spirit Blade Ascensions, Ghost Blade, and the Dungeon Guide. I come out with my Swordsman, go 2 to face, and then hope on my turn, on the opponent's turn, that they kill the Swordsman. They'll allow me to have 2 Swordsmen in my graveyard and allow me to clean level up to 2. Sword of Adversity is out now, so that the Flame Sweeps for 6. And I'm assuming, because it's a Lorraine, they can have a lot of units, but not only that, some of them have 4 health, and then if you play Song of Nurturing, it gets to 6, or if he has a couple of favourable wins, he can get to 6 easy. So I really want to push a Flame Sweep for 6, hence why I got the Sword of Adversity instead of Sword of Seeking. Opponent plays the unit with Vigor, it's a 2-3. I'm contemplating Sparkle Lighting it, but I'm just going to allow him to swing. He, as a Winmore player does, gets rid of any units on field, and I'm pretty happy with this because now I've got my 2 floating memory. Put the 2 floating memory in there. Would have preferred if he put another unit out, but that's not the case. Draw my cards back, draw for turn. So I'm going to Flame Sweep, and I'm going to keep the Spirit Blade Ascension, Ghost Blade, and Dungeon Guide, so then I can go to level 3 and then go for another attack straight after the Flame Sweep. And this is how you need to play into Win Lorraine. You need to be able to clear their board and then come for another big attack. And the best part of a Spirit Blade is it doesn't require a sword on the field, because you get to put a sword from your material deck into your banishment. So you get that additional +1 as if there was a sword there anyway. So here's the Flame Sweep. So that's a Flame Sweep for 6. He retaliates, that's fine. So I've pushed him now to 9. I draw 2 cards. So I really want to play the Spirit Blade, but then realise I can't play it, so keep the Ghost Blade. Put the 3 cards in there. Hopefully the Spirit Blade doesn't get taken away on the Dungeon Guide. But at this point, I've got to push damage before you can rebuild a board. So I lose Sparkle Light, which is okay, and Blazing Throw, kind of want to keep Blazing Throws. It's 4 damage, you can get past Interceptors. So swing 1 on the Dungeon Guide. Now I'll Ghost Strike. I put in the Drawn Blade because I just don't see me playing it this turn. I want to keep the 0 cost so I can bring that out next turn for the Ascension. So I've got 2 Swords of Banishment, 2 off the Ghost Strike and 2 off Lorraine. So there's another 6 damage. This kind of forces my opponent now to level up. He does have a floating memory, but it does still cost him a card from his hand, and I'm pretty happy with that. Because I know now I've got the Spirit Blade Ascension, and that's going to push 3 damage. If I need to clear an Interceptor, I can go to face. So I'm pretty comfortable. He's not going to be able to get push 21 damage this turn, and it's just in my head I'm thinking, okay, how many interceptors can he put out? If he can put out multiple interceptors, it might be hard for me to push damage to win. So he puts a Banner Knight. Now their swords attacking for 3 damage. He decides to kill a Dungeon Guide so he can get another card off Lorraine. Now I'm thinking he might Dungeon Guide to level 3, which may make me killing him hard. But when I see him not go for the Dungeon Guide and play another Banner Knight, I feel like he's going to try to push some damage now. And I'm pretty content with the position. So now when I see him play the last ally, I'm pretty happy, because he's going to push some damage, but he's not going to do lethal, and then he's got no blockers or cards in hand. And this is now I'm just going for the win. So I bring out Sword of Seeking because I want to bounce it with the Spirit Blade Ascension. I'll do 3 damage, and then I've got a Rending Flames for the win. I can swing the sword by itself and it's enough damage, because the sword will be swinging for 5, 3 off the Prismatic Edge, and then 2 for the 2 Swords in Banishment. So I bounce the Ascension, bring out Prismatic, show the Fire card. Opponent reveals theirs because there's Wind. He's got to banish a card. Damage to face. He's got no cards in hand, so I feel I'm comfortable doing a Rending. And then this Rending would come 3 off the sword, 2 banishment, plus 3. So this is a 16 damage Rending Flames for the win. So that's the matchups into Fire Lorraine, into Fire Zander and Win Lorraine. Hopefully you enjoy. Thanks.